This is WVLT News at 6.
We got a choir for president.
A homophobic slur from a Sevier County commissioner causes a ripple effect felt across the world. We have this exclusive video tonight as some applaud his remarks and others call for Warren Hurst to resign. Thanks for joining us for WVLT News at 6. I'm Amanda Hara. Ted is off tonight. A list of people from Dollywood to the mayor and the county are now stepping forward and apologizing for the commissioner's homophobic slur. He made the comments last night at a meeting that was meant for a vote on guns. Those comments prompted at least one person to walk out of the meeting.
It's time, folks, that we wake up. It's been time. It's past.
Commissioner Warren Hurst in a discussion on whether Sevier County should become a gun sanctuary. His words then turned to what he describes as the liberal agenda.
We got a choir running for president.
Reactions from some in the crowd. One woman stood up, expressed her anger, and said this as she stormed out. Commissioner Hurst's comments continued, saying the white man has few rights.
I'm not prejudiced. But by God, is a white male in this country has very few rights, and they're getting taken for every day.
After the meeting, Hurst told me over the phone that he's entitled to his opinion and stands by it.
Now, if you don't, your kids and your grandkids is going to pay for what we said. That's true.
In Sevier County, Kyle Granger, WVLT News.
The comments sparking calls online for people to cancel their travel plans. We heard a little bit of that in Gwen's report. Well, now county leaders are speaking out. The city of Pigeon Forge's tourism director saying, we've welcomed guests for decades and decades. We've treated people well. Surprisingly, Sarah Thompson, she doesn't want a resignation. She simply wants an apology.
Exactly that, Amanda. Sarah Thompson says it was painful to hear the commissioner's comments, but tonight she's only asking for an apology.
If there are currently laws that the petitioners find fault with.
A gun proposal brought Sarah Thompson to Monday night's county commission meeting. She spoke out against the proposal, then heard something she never expected.
We got a choir running for president.
Commissioner Warren Hurst's comments drove her away.
I was actually incensed. I think that was a very demeaning and nasty thing to even talk about. So I stood up and said, excuse me, this is unprofessional.
Thompson is the chair of the Sevier County Democrats. She says Hurst's comments should serve as a reminder to all commissioners.
They're elected to represent everyone in Sevier County, even those who don't love, look, or vote like they do.
We could go over here in House's jail and get better people out.
Some of Hurst's comments were met with applause and some laughter at the Monday night meeting.
Well, it's painful to hear, but at the same time, I've become so used to it in this county.
The Tennessee Equality Project is calling on Hurst to resign, but Thompson doesn't think that's necessary.
I think an apology is in order, not just to me, but to every person in this county that doesn't share his viewpoints that he demeaned. Other than that, it's up to the county commission to censor their own.
Now, we have reached out to all county commissioners. So far, only heard back from one. Commissioner Greg Haggard says that Hurst's comments don't reflect all of county commission. And we have reached out also to Hurst again tonight to see if his comments have changed or if he has any more to say about what he has said last night. And we have not been able to reach out to him just yet, Amanda. He has not gone back to us.
Yeah, Robert, last night, he basically told us after this meeting, he said, I still stand by my comments. He told our Kyle Granger that he was then going to be going out of town. We've tried repeatedly today to get in touch with him to see if his stance has changed at all now that people are calling for his resignation. Of course, none of our repeated phone calls have been returned, but this is a part of the story that we will continue to watch and stay on top of. Robert Grant reporting for us tonight in Sevier County. Robert, thanks.
Commissioner Hurst has arrived for the meeting. He got here about 15 minutes ago or so and went around the room and greeted greeted other commissioners. We're talking quietly because the door is open, and they have just called the meeting to order with a prayer and also having the Pledge of Allegiance. But you may hear down the hallway there's quite a bit of noise and commotion coming on from outside of the building. We'll get to Robert Grant in just a second, but you have folks outside who are trying to get into the meeting tonight.
Absolutely. We have over 100 people outside ready to come inside. We have plenty of room in here, and yet they're telling us that they're not welcoming them in. We have the fire marshal's permission to have them in here, but yet they are doing everything they can to keep people out of this meeting.
And I can tell you it's a packed house on the inside. Nearly every seat is taken. We're going to use this opportunity to go back inside tonight so we can bring you the information of what is happening. So that's what is going on tonight. This will be the first meeting for the full commission since this outburst happened last month. So that's what's going on inside. They have been called to order. We're going to step back in so we find out what goes on through the evening hours.
Let's go to Robert Grant now. Robert, you're with the group that's been traveling around Sevier County this afternoon. These protesters, tell us what's going on with these folks.
Ted, they started at the Civic Center. They're now here outside of the courthouse. You can see them. I'll take a step out of the shot and kind of move the camera around so you guys can see a little better what's going on around me. I would say there's at least 50, if not more, protesters outside right now. Now, these are the folks that are told they cannot go inside at this point. You can see many of them wearing red. That is to show support against Commissioner Hurst's statements. A lot of the people here are with the Tennessee Equality Project, but there's also several other locals and also the Sevier County Democrats that have shown up tonight. That is the group that you're seeing here right now. You can see some of the signs here, boycott Sevier County. I've seen others that say things along the lines of Sevier County is bigger than racism. Of course, all of this stemming from those comments from Commissioner Hurst about a month ago now, those homophobic comments that had come out during a commissioned meeting. Now again, these folks are being told they cannot go inside, so they're all gathering outside. You can also see several sheriff's deputies out here as well, standing guard while this all goes on.
Our Sevier County Bureau Chief Kyle Granger was at the meeting tonight. Kyle was at the meeting when this happened. He was the only one who got video of that meeting. He's joining us live from Sevierville. Hurst really didn't say anything tonight publicly.
He did not say anything publicly. He did speak to a couple of commissioners. As you said, Ted, when he entered the room, he shook their hands and greeted them almost a business as usual. But tonight, we had another room full of people, this time wanting to speak on a different topic, which included him. Commissioner Warren Hurst entered the commission room by shaking hands with other commissioners several minutes before the meeting was called to order. He stayed quiet throughout the meeting as speakers took to the podium, both supporting his comments and denouncing them.
Treat others the way that you want to be treated. And I don't think that necessarily you meant the words that you said in the way that you said them. And if you do, I'm sorry. That doesn't represent the Bible that I read.
The equality sought by some is equality denied to one, the one in whom spoke. And Mr. Hurst, I want to thank you. I support you.
Hurst then left the room, did not answer any of our questions for comment after that. Reporting live in Sevierville, Kyle Granger, WVLT News.
Kyle, he has answered your questions, though, in the past. Pretty quickly after he made those comments on your videotape, you called him, and he basically said that he backs what he said.
That's exactly right, Ted. I asked him, repeatedly, hey, this could offend someone. And he said, yes, I have the right, though, to have my opinion and share my opinion.
As County Commission continued inside,
hate speech is not free speech.
About 100 protesters gathered outside.
It means that people are willing to speak up for people like me and people who are not like themselves by race or by gender or sexual orientation.
People from all over East Tennessee.
I'm from Knoxville.
I come out here from Hamlin County is just to kind of show up and, let my friends and my family know that I'm not going to stand for it.
LGBT people live in Sevier County. We are here. We are queer. We live in Sevier.
Many making sure their voices are heard, even though they were not allowed inside the meeting because officials say there wasn't enough space. Only some asking Commissioner Hurst to resign, others looking for an apology.
I'd like to see Hurst resign.
We should start building up whoever is going to run against him.
I would like Commissioner Hurst to spend some time with people who are different than him.
Joseph Winberry lives in Seymour.
I am a gay man, and I live here in Sevier County, and it's very upsetting to think that my own leadership doesn't think I'm here or don't think that I should be represented.
Sevier County deputies standing guard as protests began on each side, some standing in support of Commissioner Hurst. In Sevierville, Robert Grant, WVLT News.
The protesters that Robert talked to said they don't have a clear plan for what they're going to do next.